right? Realistically, I mean, a lot of people would say like, well, if you murder your rapist or if you murder your child abuser, if like someone like sexually abused your child, murdering them is like justified. A lot of people agree with that.
It's not legally
justified, but a lot of people agree like morally justified, which is why, I mean, there's still a show of hands at the table when people are like, or when you were like, would you date Luigi even after you did that? People are like, yeah, because there is no like murder is just bad or murder is just like not bad, because it's contextually like. I think my opinion on that is like, you can't play God. You can't take someone else's life, no matter what you think your reasoning for that is. That's how my stance on it. But I think that everyone has different justifications and reasoning for like why they do things, whether or not it's valid or justified for you.
Right. But so who here thinks the killing was justified? That Luigi Mangione did? I mean, Kylie, you said you would date him, so I assume you believe it's justified.
I'm not dating him because I'm attracted to criminals. I would just date him because he's attractive.
Yeah.
The whole assassination thing wouldn't be a
because
red
that
flag
was
for you?
I didn't really get much into that, but I heard that the argument was that he was the CEO of United Healthcare and that they were taking money away from a lot of innocent people or something, or like charging them,
denying claims.
Sure. So, well, look, there's no doubt and no dispute that health insurance companies are the bane of corporate greed, right? And it's despicable what they do, but there are mechanisms in place to, changing laws, or that would be the appropriate way. For example, like, what would then stop conservatives from just murdering a bunch of like people who advocate for trans stuff? Like, whoa, these trans people, these trans advocates are harming children. We should murder them because of what we believe.
Well, people do that. Like, genuinely.
Yeah.
People, I mean, like people do things like that.
There's not.
I think that it's just like not really an argument you can make. Like, two bads doesn't make a good. Like, just because someone, like, you know what I mean? I feel like that's just always like not a good argument. Well, like, if this person did something bad, what if I went and did this bad thing?
But so,
would that make that like?
Then there's
they're
these
both bad?
related to this. It's like there's discussions of, okay, well, there shouldn't be billionaires. We should like murder billionaires, right? What's all of us here at this table, by virtue of us living in the United States, maybe you guys, some of you aren't quite there yet, but once you guys start a job, you will everybody here will be in the global 1%. So what is stopping the bottom 99% globally from saying, we don't like what Americans have, we're coming and taking it, and we're going to murder you so we can have the things that you have?
They might do it.
Well, we're going to fucking stop them. But why can't they do that?
Because people don't actually realize how fucked up our government is, I feel like, first of all. But also, there's better ways to go about it. I'm not saying we should do that, but there's a movie about it that we won if we did that.
But what I'm trying to say is...
we would win.
But what I'm trying to say is there's this, like, this sort of disdain...
I think we should punish them instead, not kill them.
Can you stop interrupting, lady?
Sorry.
There's this disdain for hyper wealthy people. Yeah. And look, maybe perhaps some of this dislike could be... There could be issues with sort of the inequality that exists in America. However, this idea that we should like do away with billionaires and like essentially assassinate them is kind of ridiculous, because then that opens all of us up in the United States to then being subject to the same sort of treatment by the bottom global 50%. If you live in America, you're in the top 1% of the world. You make $50,000 a year, you're in the top 1% globally.
But by like what definition? Like I understand what you're saying, but I mean legitimately by what definition, in the sense of like, I feel like a lot of people would move outside of the US and be more comfortable like living third world and like not having as many things as we have here comparatively to living here with certain aspects. Like for me, for example, if I could get better healthcare somewhere else, oh my God, I'd leave the US in a heartbeat. Because
the United States has no, it does not have the worst. The United States has some of the best doctors in the world.
Right, which is cool if you can get into them. if you can see them.
Well, the
if it
healthcare-
doesn't take like a year to see a primary, to be able to see, like to get a referral to see a specialist, to be able to
What you're
see another
describing happens in
specialist.
Canada, where they have universal health care.
Yeah, well, I'm not necessarily like talking about Canada, but like I'm also saying, I said is if there's somewhere else that can
Do you-
provide that for me, then I would leave instantly.
Do you want to move to Cuba or something? I don't know.
I mean, dude, I like straight up like.
All right, here we're getting off topic, off of dating stuff. Here we have, one sec. We got some chats coming through. Got some chat. I don't know. Y'all women be dating criminals and murderers and shit. The fuck?
No, there is.
I don't
there
care
are some
how
girls.
hot. I'll tell you this, and look, maybe some men will disagree with me. If a girl has murdered somebody, I'm not talking self-defense. If a woman has murdered somebody, I don't care if she's the most beautiful woman in the world. I don't care how hot she is. Red flag, deal breaker. Deal breaker, Never would ever consider dating somebody like that.
Yep.
Y'all women, I don't know, you get the tingles and be,
No, I get it. I get
Alright.
it. I get it.
The
I get it.
tingles is crazy.
There's,
get the
there's,
tingles.
I think like when I was younger, I used to like get turned on by a man that was like, because I thought that was masculine, you know? I thought that was like what it meant to be masculine. But then as you get older, you start to realize, no, that was actually not okay of them to like touch me a certain way or whatever.
yeah, it's
But I get you.
it's so masculine to have a wife and 2 children and then go away to prison for 20 years.
No, that's
That's so masculine. And then your children grow up without a father. It's like the most masculine thing ever. Food for thought.
yeah, it's not.
I read something. I think it was earlier today. I read it, and it said something along the lines of maybe women are going after these toxic relationships because that's all they know is toxic relationships, and that's the only form of consistency that they think they'll find. And I think that that's a way to look at it. But I think that there's so many things that contribute to you having your current perception and then your general lack of or your sense of awareness.
Yeah, I think sense of awareness is a big one too, because like when you go through a traumatic experience with a specific partner, I think that's where you like either learn from it and you want to like move on and do something different or stay the same.
Also, why is it like you hear all these women complaining about dating a guy who's abusive, but simultaneously you're like, yeah, I would date this criminal. So it's like, on one hand, he abused me. On the other hand, there are all these red flags that you were conveniently ignoring because he was exciting to you or he was attractive or whatever it is. Like, I don't think anybody should be abused, but if you intentionally go after like a walking red flag, should you be surprised when you're end up
No.
being abused?
But
Definitely not
to the
surprised.
same token, I feel like men aren't generally like walking up to you being like, hey, like I'm planning on beating
Yes.
on you when we start dating in
That's
3 months.
true.
Because I feel like that's like the situation that I've unfortunately ended up in before where I'm like, it's all good. Like it's flowers. It's you're giving me rides everywhere. You're paying for my gas money. You're taking me out on dates every week. And we finally commit. And then all of a sudden it's just like not consistent. And then when I'm like, hey, this doesn't feel consistent, they're like, what are you talking about? I did that like 2 weeks ago. And then it becomes like a back and forth of like, but I did that even though they're not doing it. And I don't know, it becomes like a manipulation thing where I feel like they get you into the relationship and then like, yeah, like when it's like bad, I mean, I'm like, well,